What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of FLOYD STREET'S FINEST. I am your host and friend, Jeff Greer. Of course, we are part of the Field of 68 Media Network, podcasts in every possible direction for college basketball and college football. Field of 12, make sure you check that out as well as they enter the off season. The Field of 68 is just pumping out content. It's hard to believe that March Madness is only about 2 months away. I know Louisville's at this rate going to need quite a bit of things to move in its direction to head toward that. But nevertheless, I know we're all college basketball fans, so keep on watching those podcast streams. Make sure you hit us over on Apple Podcasts and leave us ratings and reviews, especially FLOYD STREET'S Finest. It helps other people find our podcast. We've got a great episode today. A guy who is absolutely red hot for Louisville the last couple of times out is Mike James, who has been playing extremely well the last 4 games in particular. He has really risen to the occasion as the second scorer and producer for Louisville. I actually wrote about him in my newsletter that went out a little bit later because I wanted to make sure that I got a chance to talk to him here on Thursday afternoon. But this guy has been so efficient. We talk about that. We talk about the struggles this year as we're coming back from injury and all of those things. It's a great conversation as always with Mike. He's, I think, one of the best guys on the team as far as body language, which we talk about, and just kind of team spirit, character, good personality, really sharp guy. So you'll enjoy this conversation with Mike. I won't blab any further. Let's dive right into my conversation with Mike James. All right, we are joined by the red hot Mike James here. Mike, what's going on, man? The last time we talked, you were still kind of working your way back from the Achilles injury. We're excited to get going. And the last couple of games, man, you're taking off here.
Yeah, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's been a long time, but obviously I'm in the season now. I'm healthy. I'm starting to play a little better. Just grateful to be here.
So I took a dive into your performances the last couple of games, especially, but it's kind of tracking from the whole season that you're actually, I mean, I hope you know this, but you're a super efficient scorer. Yeah. You know, the guys with the Houston Rockets and some of the places that have really emphasized analytics would love to see it. It's almost entirely layups and dunks and 3-pointers, both areas that you're obviously effective at finishing. Is the efficiency side of it something that you just like organically know you're good at those two things, scoring in traffic, scoring at the rim and shooting? Or is that something that you've actively tried to do, is to get those efficient shots?
I think from like the last time I played, like all through like my high school career, I don't take like bad shots. So I kind of let the game come to me. I shoot shots in the flow of the game. I don't try to like force anything because that leads to bad misses and your efficiency drops. But I don't like focus on my efficiency or nothing. But I think like good efficiency comes from just letting the game come to you and taking good rhythm shots in the flow of the game.
I would imagine you're feeling pretty good right now in terms of the flow of the game. It's definitely coming to you pretty easily. And one thing that stuck out to me last night that really was a little bit of a difference from really most of the season is you got to the free throw line 11 times, 11 free throws. You're a physical player. You always have been. Was that something that you were kind of trying to do, or did that just happen to be how the game played out last night?
That's something I definitely like needed to add to my game this season and get to the line more, because as a 2 guard, I have a big frame. I'm 6'5", 200, 205. So I can use that to my advantage to get to the line, post up smaller guards, just attack the rim and use my body to get contact. And it worked for me last night. I got to the line 11 times. I think I hit like 10 free throws or something like that. But yeah, it's something I definitely need to kind of track during the season, try to get better at during the season, just add more and more to it.
Now, you know, look, let's zoom out a little bit. Obviously, you guys are probably frustrated a little bit the way the season has gone. It seems like the last couple of games you've really started to turn a corner in a variety of areas. But it's got to be frustrating to get off to a sluggish start in the ACC and have the season you're having. But you and a few of your teammates, especially you, your body language is still awesome, still smiling, still playing hard, still doing all the things that coaches like to see. Walk us through how you're kind of handling all of this and your approach to just trying to get some wins on the board and turn this corner.
Well, for me personally, just for what I went through, last year not being able to play, I haven't played a game leading up into this season in probably like a year and a half. So just being out there every day is a blessing. Like, even though the record is what it is and our season is what it is, you just got to look at the good side of things. Like last year, I wasn't even able to play. So just being on the floor this year is just great for me. And I just try to take advantage of that every day. And then as far as like the team, as the team goes, like, if you have bad body language and you let the record get to you and you let it show, it's just going to lead to more bad stuff. So, and I think we've been improving. I think our body language has been good. So I think if we just keep on that track, it'll eventually lead to some wins.
What is that? It's always so hard. I know when you get into a rut, or in the opposite, if your team's winning a bunch of games, it's always hard to maybe pinpoint one thing or two things, but like, for you watching film, playing in these games, what are maybe one or two things, a couple steps in one direction or the other that would then help you guys get over the hump and get some wins in the league?
I think limiting the team's second chance points and turnovers for real. The more and more we cut down our turnovers, I think we've been getting a little bit better at it. The more that we limit the other team from getting second chance points, and limiting the runs for real, I think that'll be the factor that gets us the wins.
I did. That's a great segue for me. Thank you for doing that unintentionally. But here, I've noticed in the league games that you have played this year, your turnover rate has gone down as your usage rate and obviously your scoring has gone up. What do you account that for? Why do you think you're getting better at securing the ball and obviously scoring and all those things, but especially when you're playing the two and you're going to have the ball in your hands quite a bit? What has been the reason behind, you think, that the improvement there in the turnover category?
I just think, like, as the season is going, like, I've gotten more comfortable. I got used to the flow of the game. The game has started to slow down for me. I just think my focus has been a lot better in ACC play. Just focusing on not turning the ball over and making good decisions and just making the most of times when I have the ball. So, yeah, I just think I'm just getting better and better as the season goes, and just try to improve on that.
Something that I always find really interesting is the process for players. I know we talked about this in the preseason, but getting back to being healthy, sitting out for a season, so you do get to watch your teammates play. How did you process last year? How much film were you watching? Was there anybody you kind of relied on to walk you through things that you were seeing to kind of keep your mind sharp last year?
Yeah, I gotta give a lot of credit to Kristen Cunningham, CC, and Taylor Barnett last year. They kind of kept me engaged with all of that stuff. After every game, like, they'll probably like ask me, what am I seeing? When I started to get back into like the process of like starting back working out, they will watch film with me or like ask me questions about the game and what I see and what I think the team can do to improve. So I was kind of always locked in with the team and just locked in with the game and just learning from the sidelines. And I think that's paid like a lot of dividends for me this year, because a lot of stuff that I would see last year is happening to me this year on the court. And it's like, I'm a freshman, but I saw the game from a different side other than watching it like from TV. I saw it from the sidelines. So the stuff that I'm seeing, I'm not too surprised by it, and I kind of know how to react to it.
I know, every player is unique, and obviously there's so many factors over many years of you playing that have led you to this point. So you are who you are. You are Mike James. Mm-hmm. Who did you watch a lot growing up, and maybe not pattern yourself after, but look at as someone who, whose game you liked, that you tried to pick up some things from?
I watched a lot of Jimmy Butler, for real.
Okay, that's a good one.
It's kind of like the same size, same frame. I just try like implement some of his game into mine. If I want to be like Jimmy Butler, I gotta shoot a lot more mid ranges. Like he likes to shoot a lot of mid ranges, but just being a good defender, being versatile on the floor, getting to the rim, and being that dog.
I know when we talked last year before you got hurt, they had been talking to you a lot about playing the two, and here you are playing the two. I'm curious, one, in your vantage point with Coach Payne and the new staff, what is there that much of a difference between the two and the three? And if you think there's time in the future, as the roster changes into next season and beyond, where you might see more time at the three and more of a wing role.
In our offense, the 2 and 3 really can be interchangeable. Like I know both positions. I know most positions in our offense. So I think I could play the 3. I think I could even slide. If we go super small, I could slide down to the 4, but he probably won't put me there. But I think if things happen how they happen and eventually I have to go to the 3, I can do it. I can do whatever the team needs for me to do for real.
When I watched you practice last year, I think I've told you this before. I was at the practice when you got injured.
Oh, wow.
And that workout, you and Dre Davis were like going at it with each other. I mean, you guys were working each other, but I was so impressed with you on the glass, with you in traffic. And that team had a bunch of big dudes on it, and you were not at all fearful of that interaction inside. So that's for me. When I hear you say you can play, I believe it. I mean, I've seen it. Like you can do that going forward. I know it's tough in the ACC, but you can do that. Tell me about El. You've been around him now for into the second season. He's obviously having a fantastic year this year. What have you seen from him as he's trying to help you guys along from that point guard spot and that team leader role?
I think he's just grown so much as a leader from just knowing him from last year to this year. It's like night and day. He's just grown so much as a leader. He talks to all of us, leads us on the court, keeps us engaged, tells us what we need to do, what we need not to do. And then I think like just him evolving to a true point guard, he's done way better this year too. Like going back to the statement that you said, when I cut down on my turnovers, Ellis cut down on his turnovers and upped his assist rate too. So he's doing a really good job, and I'm just happy for him that he's having a great season.
Last couple of things, and one is, in talking to all of you guys after Kenny was hired, the conversations that you all had were clear that you all wanted to play for him and be part of this program. How's he doing through these struggles, and what's his message been to you all, especially now that league play has started?
He's been that same dude, positive, trying to motivate us, just keeping us engaged, keeping us locked in with the season. He wants us to win so bad. He works us so hard, and he says we deserve to win every single day. So he's been the same person. He hasn't changed. I love him. I'll go to war for him every single day. He's been great. He's been great.
So, Mike, this is a tough question for you, and I just want to give you that heads up. This is going to be really difficult. You're a Florida guy. You've got all 3 Florida teams in the NFL playoffs. Do you root for any of them, or do you have a team outside of the Sunshine State that you're pulling for?
I'm a Bucks fan.
Bucks fan, okay.
So I was on a plane yesterday, and I was just scrolling through some old photos, and my mom had sent me a picture of me when I was in kindergarten, a kindergarten photo of me with a Cadillac Williams Bucks jersey on.
Yes.
Let's go. We're gonna beat Dallas, and we're gonna get the
They took my guy. I'm a New Englander. They took Tom Brady from us. So I'm bummed, but you guys have had a lot of success the last couple of years. I know this season's been a little bumpy, but playoff time, everybody's 0-0, right?
Let us sneak in. Let us sneak in.
Yeah. Last thing then, I love asking players this as the course of the season goes on. Obviously, you went on a couple of these road trips last year, you might not have, but do you have a favorite ACC road trip yet?
Last year when we went to Syracuse, that was really nice because just playing, like going to that arena, it's a football stadium. And then like the lights and stuff. Like I've always watched Syracuse games, and just to be there in person, it was kind of surreal. And North Carolina was cool too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I'm looking forward to going to Duke this year.
Yeah, I will never forget a couple years ago, I was at Cameron Indoor for a Louisville game, and Jordan Wara and Ray Spalding were warming up before the game, and the Duke fans, the students, were shouting at them from their cheering cards, and they let them read what the like opposition research was on each player and like the things they're going to be shouting about. And they signed it. It's a great environment, man. You're going to love it. You're going to love playing in it. So I'm looking forward to that for you.
Yes, sir. It's going to
awesome. All right, man. Well, thank you so much for your time. I know you guys had kind of a bear getting back traveling last night. So get some rest today, and we'll be catching up with you soon.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Mike.